Okay, so part 2 for our 6.5 quiz. You're going to mark the strategies that step parents should follow to create harmony in a blended family. So what you're going to do, if the child makes a hurtful statement, don't take it personal. They're probably hurt, angry, going through grief regarding the divorce, not about you. Come to an agreement with the spouse about the rules that you and the ex-spouse are going to have regarding expectations and rules for the children. Everybody communicating together. And finally, be supportive of the children having a relationship with their biological parent. That makes the most harmony. Some of you did mark take control of the children early before you lose control. So as a parent, you never want to have things out of control, but is a bit of a facade that you would be able to take control, own it, or lose it. And so what you want with children is, we've talked about this whole class, is discipline, is teaching, is trying to have the children learn and know for themselves to have appropriate behavior. Anytime we're trying to force or take control of something, usually that, and indeed, is not a good plan. It doesn't really work well. What you're doing is you're guiding and through that. Also, speaking and including the spouse's ex regarding the children that are their children, having good communication is essential. So, excuse me. Next question, number 15. It is common for many children to feel guilty and blame themselves for divorce and problems at home. That is very true. The point of the statement is for the adults in the situation to consistently say, this is not about you, you didn't do anything, and to counteract those ideas of blaming themselves. Question number 16. Informing children about a divorce is difficult. However, for the children's benefit, it's best to do all of the following. You want to tell the truth. You want to assure the child that they are loved. You want to reassure the children that the divorce is not their fault. The thing you do not want to do, which is why it's the marker that the answer you're going to mark for the correct answer, is spoil the children by buying them lots of gifts. So 2 activities that help a child cope with deployment. Family fun night. So you can write anything. I have on here examples of a lot for you to look at. In this particular example that we're going over, you only have to write 2 down. You keep a scrapbook, have a board game tournaments, have family timeline, draw a circle on a map and from 80 miles radius from your house, and then if you want to explore and decide where you're going to explore, so making plans, teaching your kids to dance and dancing with you, all of those things. Journaling is exceptionally helpful. Question 18. During times of deployment, military spouses can suddenly find themselves as a single parent. What healthy habits would you recommend for a family experience a microsystem adjustment? The thing to remember here, again, is we're looking for consistency, and as much consistency as possible as you can possibly do. And so the reason why, and some of you clicked and marked all of them, the reason why it's not all of them is if you move in with your parents or friends to keep costs down during deployment, you're creating a lot of change. You're creating a lot of stress. Moving is one of the top 5 stressful events for kids and families. So you moving is going to create stress. Additionally, invite your in-laws to stay with you during deployment to help with the children. Again, if they weren't there before and you don't have that same consistency, trying to recreate a whole new system with them can be challenging. So Healthy habits is to, you can connect with other military families. You can investigate child care resources so that you're not stressed out. You can make a plan for communicating, maintaining connection with your deployed spouse. You can keep a family routine as similar as possible as before. The thing that I want to point out here is these two about your family are definitely very, this course is, taught in the United States from a certain cultural perspective, and it is a very much more of United States independent cultural perspective to decide to not move in with your parents and think that's stressful and not have extra in-laws or your parents come to live with you in order to help with the children. So, or to convince your children to behave by purchasing them gifts. Again, that's not a great idea. But the reason why those are they're not in this list, it really does have to do with our culture here in the United States. And so typically that would be looked at by therapists and other individuals as not as great of a habit, because you're creating a new system for them to have to deal with. They're micro system adjustments. You want them to be as small as possible, and you're inputting a bunch more into that micro system here. Question number 19. Describe 3 ways a deployed parent can stay connected to the family, a family away. Again, I put a bunch of things so you could read them. Offer to correspond with your child's class as a deployed parent. That way they have connection and can help build the child's connection to school. Exchange jokes. They could have a special gift, something unique from where you're stationed. Bedtime prayers, anything recorded to listen over and over again. Collection of photos. Excuse me. I'm not feeling well today, so excuse me. Mark all that apply. Allow deployment. Although deployment can be stressful, it can be a stressful time, there can be benefits such as anything that is keeping consistency and building relationship. So building relationship is increased independent and self-confidence between the caregiver and the children. It's about their relationship. Strengthen the relationship with your child and deployed parent. They could feel stronger connected. They may strengthen the relationship with the caregiver at home, and they could also develop closer family ties. The two that are not the benefit about a stressful time is that it could result in fewer arguments between parents and children considering the change in discipline structure in the home. Yes, there could be a change in parenting structure at home. Any change tends to be stressful. Those changes, we are recommending that things stay consistent. So the structure of discipline in the home is consistent, is the same. So they still have the same rules as they did prior to having the parent deployed. Same expectations of whether you're allowed to jump on the sofa, same expectations of nutritious food to eat. So we want that to stay the same, and it is healthier for a family to be partners, whether they're military or not, to be on the same page about that before or after deployment. Also, deployment might encourage friends to come over more often. Again, you want consistency. If you didn't have friends who were not coming over before, then having more friends come over is not necessarily a helpful thing. So there you go. Only a few more minutes. Thank you. I look forward to looking at your quizzes. Bye now.